Still waiting for it to go. Come on. Come on. There it is.
Come on.
Come
Come on.
Oh, well, now we can see you. What's this? I can see you. Now we can talk about Dora and she can hear us.
No, she can't because she's not here.
So, no, that's right. Just not here.
No,
And if you're not
I've
here, you
just done a
can't.
happy Christmas haircut.
Yeah, cool.
Number 4 all over. Just
Why not?
well, you see that way, I can't do anything with it. And it also I think it's got rid of the. I tend to sleep on that side, so once it gets long enough, you get this hair stuck up, and it doesn't matter what you do, it's there, and it's like, okay, it's time to get it all cut off again.
Yeah, yeah.
Because being a bloke, I'm lazy with my hair. I don't want to have to do anything with it. So
No, I understand that. I'm a bit the same, but I do my own now because I just stick the clippers on one or two. Just go over it. I used
I
to get.
once had a grade 2, and all I needed was the card with my name and a number on it in front of me. Oh, this is as short as I'll go.
Although I do recommend the hairdressers do a much better job than I do. They pick up all the,
Yep.
particularly around the
8:20
back.
this morning, my appointment was. I thought, right, get that done nice and early out of the way.
Particularly around the back. Mine's a bit of a guess, you stick a finger in the back of the neck and sort of say, oh, well, we'll go to there this way, and then you try not to move the finger and come back the other way.
That's why I don't mind paying somebody. It costs less than a tenner, but I just say, look, here's a tenner, keep the change,
Yeah.
But for the sake of 10 minutes and having a nap with somebody as they're cutting your hair, doing a proper job.
G'day, Paul. How you going?
Yeah, good.
You sick of listening to Iodine over on Gems?
Oh, fucking sends me to sleep. If there's anyone that has such a monotonous, boring voice.
Oh, it was also they come in accuse Merle of running a suicide cult and then wonder why he gets triggered by it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I agree in a little sense, that not to the extent that Iodine is saying, but quite honestly, what the fuck is Mel doing wanting to go to fucking Scotland for to make it as a musician? I mean, he's got Buckley's, honestly.
Oh yeah, I don't have any doubt. But I mean,
you know why he wants to go to Scotland, don't you?
To meet Del.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
To meet Del. What? Why else would anybody? I mean, we did Scotland once, only because we was up there for the week to do Ben Nevis. We thought, whilst we're here, we'll see some sights. We did Loch Ness, blah 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 blah, and that's it. Done. I'm not going back. What do you want to go to Scotland for?
And so you went up to Ben Nevis.
All the way from there to Scotland. What? Just to be a musician? Why can't you be a musician down there and save yourself?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I asked him. Why can't you do it in Australia? I mean, if you're not good enough to make it in Australia, especially in Melbourne.
Yeah.
I mean,
get Adelaide.
Scotland's not the epicenter of music. Trust me.
No.
But Del happens to live there.
Like, I'm a little bit more that, he's got no ties. If he goes over there, long as he's not going to go broke, go for it, do what you want. But no, I wouldn't expect him to be successful. No.
That's a lot of money to spend on a maybe, a possibly. I mean, if you said it was just a holiday, fair enough, but not, I'm going to move to Scotland. Why?
Well, and another thing is, like, if you're going to do something like this and you're going to make it as a musician in Scotland, do you spend your time like postulating about it on Discord? No,
probably not. No. Yes, well, I probably would make a few more plans and have a bit more of a this is what I'm going to do.
Exactly.
This is what I'm going to see. Yeah. But let's see what happens. We might still be talking about it, next Christmas. So when he's used up all the money from his vehicle, selling his vehicle, who knows?
I mean, I know people who've done it the other way and have emigrated to Australia. I'm guessing you guys still do what you used to do. You have to, if somebody wants to move to Australia, they have to meet certain criteria.
Yeah.
And scoring a certain number of points, and a lot of that was to do with, well, what's your vocation, what's your trade, and here's a list of people we're crying out for. Oh right, you're at the top list. Yep, go on. Yep, come on in. And I know somebody who did it. I think he did it 3 times. Emigrated, then came back, then had another go, then had another go. No, he's back here. It clearly wasn't for him, but it took him 3 very expensive attempts to realise that life in Australia wasn't for him, because it is totally different. And you're
there's a bit more. From all accounts, it's more expensive here than the UK. So,
we all complain about how expensive things are over here, but I think you look at a lot of other countries and we've got it easy.
Well, the average price in Canberra for a standard home is $1.1 million at the moment.
That get you quite a sprawl over here. I mean, what's that? £500,000? I don't know what the exchange rate is at the moment.
About 600, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd get you quite a pad over here. £600,000. That's getting you a 4 or 5 bedroom detached home with double garage and gardens and Christ knows what else. Yeah, that'd get you quite a nice place over here. But that's out of most people's reach.
Obviously, you can get much cheaper, but that's just average going rate. For a detached house. Yeah. So yeah,
I just live in a box in the middle of the road.
Not. Yes, I think his money value. Like he was seeking 20K. I think you might. If I was going to go to, that's sort of like holiday money, not going to live type money.
Yeah.
So I don't know. He could get over there. He's happy to sort of couch surf. But I'd want to know which couches I had first before I went.
Yeah.
Although Mabbott did offer that he could come and stay with him for a little bit.
I reckon if he knocked up at Dell's place and knocked on the door, if he knocked on Dell's door and wanted to use his back shed, Dell would say, "What the fuck are you doing here?"
No.
I just talked to you on the internet a few times, mate.
Oh dear.
Now I've got a situation I want your opinion on.
Yeah.
Okay. So about 5 weeks ago, we had some guys from Horsham, the nearest big regional centre here, come out and test our water. All right. They took samples from water points and they took a sample from the shower. And then about 3 weeks later, they were back again, taking more samples from the shower.
Mm.
And I heard one of the guys say, our sort of like livestock boss say to the health and occupational safety manager, "What are you going to do if it tests positive?"
Oh.
And nothing was said, and nothing was said to us, the workers, So we're required to shower in every day before we go out into the sheds.
Yeah.
By security, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so a couple of days ago, rock up to work about 7 o'clock in the morning. My boss isn't there yet. And as I'm driving up, he comes racing up behind me and says, Paul, don't shower in. And I'm thinking, what the fuck? What's wrong? Aren't we going to go to work today? No, he said,
tested positive.
Don't shower in. The shower's tested positive. And I said, for what? And he goes, Legionnaires.
Oh, dear. What?
That's all right.
How did they know to test it?
So from the first week, first time it was tested, up until when it was retested, we'd been showering in. And then for about a week after the second time it had been tested, we'd been showering in as well. And now, all of a sudden, they tell us, don't shower in. Tested positive for Legionnaires. But that's all they've told us. Haven't told us anything else, like, we'll go and get you tested, or here's a course of antibiotics, or this is what you should do, or if you're feeling these symptoms. No, none of that shit. Just
really?
Don't shower in.
That's a bit worrying.
So it's the water samples have tested positive for Legionella, but they haven't said to you guys, actually, we need to test you as well to make sure you have. I mean, the chances of you having got it and not having any symptoms are pretty slim. So fingers crossed, you probably dodged a bullet. But they need to get you guys tested too, because you've been showering in Legionella affected water. And I still can't believe in this day and age, Legionella is so easy to obviate.
Yeah.
You just have to have the high enough water temperature. It's as simple as that.
Because the question is, where's it living then? So it's tank water, isn't
it? I don't know.
The showers
the water comes from the bore.
Ah.
So are your showers instantaneous? Are they like electric showers?
No, it's a storage hot water system. It's a heat pump.
Right. So how far are your showers from the cylinder?
From the what?
I mean, your hot water that your showers are using is being stored presumably in a cylinder of some type.
Yeah, only just through the wall. Probably.
So a few, a meter or two's worth of pipe if you're lucky.
Yeah.
So it's not your. Because the problem comes if your point of use is too far from the cylinder.
You get the lukewarm
and you haven't got a return pipe, then the hot water in the pipe when it's not being used will cool down, and it generally drops to the sort of temperature that Legionella loves. So you either have your draw off point down close to your cylinder, which in this case it sounds like you have, or you have a return pipe and you pump it and you keep the water hot. The next question is, what's the temperature of the water in the cylinder?
Yeah, I don't know. I assume that it's pretty hot. Like you got to mix it with cold. You can't stick your hand under it.
Yeah, it needs to be at least 60 degrees C. That's the ideal temperature. When it drops to about 45 degrees C, that's bang on for Legionella.
Yeah, yeah.
And hot water heaters, because the instant hot water heaters here, the gas ones aren't allowed to output more than 50 degrees C.
Well, no, 50's borderline as well. The thing is, I mean, take for instance the Lidl stores I was looking at last year. It's either point of use. In fact, they all were point of use. The point of use is 60 degrees C. When it comes out to a tap in, say, the customer's toilet, it's going through a mixer tap. So it's it comes out at 41 degrees. But the hot water itself is at 60. It's automatically mixing. When you go to the staff canteen and look at their sink, there's a warning sign to say this water is at 60 degrees.
Yeah.
But 60 degrees is a magical figure. As long as you keep it at 60 or above, Legionella it doesn't exist in those temperatures. It can't. It's when you've got water at sort of 40, 45 degrees constantly, that's an open invitation.
Is it a spherical cylinder? No, I don't think so.
Well, they tend to have domed. A lot of them bigger ones have domed ends, obviously, but no, they're not. So, and if it's not the hot water supply, then the last thing you're looking at is the borehole, and it depends what's in the borehole.
I mean, you could get Legionnaire in the borehole if it's sumped up. You've had a lot of rain in the last while, Paul?
Yeah. We have.
But my question is, why did they test in the first place? Is that regular?
Just like these guys go around and they test a whole heap of places, like they test the hospital, the nursing homes, a whole heap of places like that. So we sort of got them on board because we weren't having much. The previous guy that was supposed to be testing our water samples, he was asked what all the tests were for the processing plant, and he would give the results. But then they went and they actually looked, and where he was supposed to be taking the water from, the sampling points, they were rusted shut and had never been opened. So,
he wasn't testing.
He wasn't testing. So
that's a bit of a giveaway.
Yeah. So he got given the ass, and they got these new guys in to do the testing.
So it wasn't. It was a regular test, not that they had suspicions. In the first place.
This is the first time they've tested for that at our site. So previous testing has only been stuff, like water hardness, pH, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Interesting.
It's quite a big thing over here because there was a lot of cases of it. When was it? Was it the 80s or the 90s? There was outbreaks of Legionella in hospitals and all sorts of places. And I think that's when they started taking it just a little bit more seriously over here.
Well, I
But
believe there are different species of Legionella too, and it depends which
yes,
one. Yeah.
yeah,
So
because
I
it's also a problem with cooling towers at power stations and things like that. Because what are they doing? You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
they're condensing steam into water and all the rest of it, and it's very easy to have large collections of water at just the right temperature out in
The
the
other,
open.
the other thing which surprised me a bit is we've also got a water treatment plant where we've got this two pumps that continually circulate the water in the big, 200,000 litre tank we got.
Mm-hmm.
And it adds either chlorine or hydrochloric acid to
Right.
adjust the pH of the water. So it's been chlorinated. So I wouldn't imagine it would have Legionella if it's been chlorinated. So that's a
No,
bit of
you'd
a
think the
worry too.
chlorination would take care of that, but it, I think they've got more testing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Not only of
It,
the
it,
water.
yeah, it's testing of the borehole, and to be honest, more importantly, testing of you guys. But like I say, I
Yeah,
think if you got Legionella, you'd know about it.
You know about them
yeah,
by now. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think I have, but then you read the list of symptoms and it includes such, mundane things as diarrhea and headaches and, the other night I came home and I had a headache and you start thinking, well, is that the Legionella or am I just
Yep.
fucking tired,
Yep.
Yeah. It could be completely innocent, but when you have that test in the background, you think,
Mm. But it's like when you're taking a drug and whether it's pills or Christ knows what, and there's a bit of paper that when you unfold it is like half a toilet roll, and all of these possible side effects, and you sort of look at them and think, oh fuck off. But what you got to bear in mind is the when they tested this drug on umpteen people, if any of them fell ill with anything at all, they list that as a possible side effect. I
yeah,
mean, all of the stuff I've taken over the years for my psoriasis, which is basically dry skin, possible side effects, dry skin. Well, no shit. That's why I'm taking it to get rid of it. Oh, this could kill you. Oh, because somebody died whilst they were on the testing the drug. Right, okay. But you do start thinking, oh, like you said, it lists the possible symptoms, and then you get one of them, and you can't help but think, oh, yeah. But I like to say, if any of you guys had got it, I think you'd know about it by
Particularly
now.
like headache.
yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Came over all dead, so let me have the afternoon off.
Yeah. So what do you do
Yeah.
for showering down?
Well, we don't share in there. We just go to work, which is
Can't
great for
trust
the
the water supply.
biosecurity.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Do you
Over
have
at the
biosecurity, or do you risk getting bloody Legionella's disease?
over at the elite hatchery, which is the top hatchery, not the mundane hatchery, which sends all its birds out to the broiler growers. The hatchery that hatches the bloodline for the whole operation. That hatchery is the most important. That's at the top of the biosecurity tree, right?
Mm.
And there they've got two sheds and a hatchery in between the two sheds. And you're supposed to, every time you go into one of the sheds, you're supposed to shower in. So you shower in when you come onto the farm, and then you shower into the shed as well.
Yeah.
And then if you go to the other shed, you've got to shower into that shed as well. So you shower into the separate sheds. Now they've increased the biosecurity there, where even if you go outside the shed for any mundane reason, like you might go outside the shed to put a bit of paper in the rubbish bin or something, you got to fucking shower in again when you come back in.
Yeah.
Which is a pain.
Yeah,
But, that's what they're doing.
Yeah. Well, they want to make sure you don't transfer something somehow. I suppose it's the logic that if you share it, you've got that what they call it, red line, blue line, like you're one side of the line or the other, and to pass the line, you've always got to, do whatever.
And they're not letting the employees bring egg sandwiches or chicken meat on their sandwiches either. I think that's going a bit too far.
Yeah, it's a little bit over the top.
Dura, why would you look after a cat if you're allergic to cats?
Yeah.
I mean, I love cats, but and cats automatically find out the people that hate cats and are allergic to cats. It's a natural nature of them. If you walk 10 people into the room and there's one person who doesn't like cats, that's the one that the cat will go sit on.
Mass attracts mass, and,
Yeah.
and allergies attract cats.
Yes. Oh, well, that'll be interesting to see how that goes for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It may just be number, of course, but yeah.
Be interesting to see if they can actually track down the
source.
cause of it.
And I've been working there casual for the last 3 years, and suddenly they've decided, oh, well, we shouldn't be employing you as a casual. We should be putting you on full time. So they're going to give me a full time contract now.
Oh,
damn it!
Damn it! So does that not work out for you? Oh, because you're going to get less money.
Kind of does work out because I get annual leave and stuff like that as well. Yeah.
I remember being on contract for a while, and it sounded great at the time, getting more money. But then, Christmas had come around and you'd be off for 4 weeks without any money.
That's the downside of contract. If you're not working, you ain't getting paid.
Yeah.
And yeah, Christmas. Oh shit, that's like a week, 10 days when you're not working.
Yeah. And when you really want money. And of course, you always tell yourself, "Oh yeah, I'll save that extra money so it's there when I, need it." But who does that?
There's always someone that soaks it up, isn't there?
Well, yes, we'll have to send Dora a hazmat suit so she can look after the cat for a friend.
Well, that's very nice of you to do that. Knowing that you're allergic to the damn things in the first place.
Yeah. You gotta have the mental block. It's the steroids. What's the antihistamines? That's the word I was looking for. Have that on standby. Where you go. Well, I was a bit weary. I was going through. It's getting harder and harder to find reasonable flat Earth content. I gotta say, I can find all the really crazies, but they're not funny. I don't mind finding crazies if they're funny, but if they're just crazy, like, oh, we lost Paul again. Legionnaires has got him. I think the internet's a bit poor out that way. Yeah, it's a bit hard when you get the crazies like spaceships, demons, and stuff like that. And it's just like, how do you can't debate, debunk, or whatever, except just say, huh? Read some passage from Enoch and say, oh right, yeah, look, here's a spaceship. It's sort of roughly something. Maybe looks like that. Maybe possibly. So therefore, it's a demon. Okay. Yes, it doesn't quite compute.
Birds of spaceships, clouds of spaceships. What else does she say? I can't remember.
Okay, so you was good to see you back, Paul.
I had a bit of a conniption. My internet, so I've gone to my mobile hotspot.
Oh.
I tried to connect to my mobile hotspot before because I was getting a few indications that my internet was going to drop, but it wouldn't come up on my connect disconnect thing, so I had to restart my phone. And right when I restarted my phone, the other connection dropped out.
Well, we're on.
Yeah.
I was going to ask Farmer's Boy about going up to Ben Nevis to see Crete. Did you go? Did you see much of Crete when you were up there?
No, it wasn't clear enough. But you know that photo taken from Snowdon in Wales.
Yeah.
And it says all of the Alps. I've been up there. I've actually been up there 3 times. Well, twice to the summit. The third time, the summit was in cloud layers, so it's like, yeah, bollocks to that. And the ridge that's in that photo, I've walked along that, and I can tell you now, you can't see the bloody Alps from up there.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, the only time I've done Ben Nevis, it was quite cloudy at the top. So no, we couldn't really see very far at all.
No,
In fact, I don't think we could even see Fort William down at the bottom.
You should
That's
climb.
the town right next to it.
You should climb Mount Kosciuszko. It's virtually like I've been to the top of Mount Kosciuszko, which is our tallest mountain. It's really not much to see except the other mountains, which are only slightly smaller than Mount Kosciuszko.
Yeah, Snowdon on a clear day is quite a pretty view, but you can't even see. You just can't see that. There's no point looking down and going, "Oh, where's London?" You ain't going to see London, let alone the bloody Alps. I mean, that's just
yeah. Right, mind you, going up Mount Wellington, at Hobart. That's Mount Wellington, isn't it? Could be wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was much more interesting. There was actually snow at the top of that in the middle, and you actually get a really good view. So, yeah.
There was it Ben Nevis, which kind of took us by surprise because, like I said, all these people. We went up there in Easter, and it'd been raining when we got there, and it was like, oh, the weather's cleared up on the Thursday. Let's go and do Ben Nevis. And people were going past us with all sorts of, the spikes you clip on your boots and everything hanging off their backpacks. I think, what have they got them for?
Yeah.
Unless you got near the top, the zigzagging trail comes around this dirty, great big boulder that's like 20 odd foot tall. Blocking you. You walked around it and you went, that's why they've got them. There's ice that's been up there all through winter and what was snow, and everybody's walked across it, and it's now ice, and it's like, oh, fair enough. Shit. We didn't know that.
Oh, sorry. What's Farmers Can agree to?
We could first catch up and then also rewatch the old Lindsay episodes. I'm sure Farmer's Boy will agree. Oh yeah, fucking hell.
I do have new bingo. I did reset our bingo with some new words today. Added a few extra words today. So,
Cool.
We'll probably won't say them, no, Lindsay. He'll misquote the Bible or something for 20 minutes.
Yeah, because some of his episodes he just goes completely even more left field than usual, doesn't he?
Yeah. I do. Did anyone watch Blues? 2 hours 42 minutes of Scholar.
Oh, I had it on in the background.
Yeah, I watched some of it.
Was it interesting?
I watched all of it.
Obviously, I'm not going to play 2 hours 42 minutes of Blue as much as I'm sure some of it's interesting.
Well, it's about 2 hours 42 minutes of Bev being wrong. But, what else do you expect?
Getting spherical geometry wrong. Just
as per the usual.
As per usual. So I do recommend. I'll post it out into the chat if people want to go see it at their own leisure. But yes, I might not play that one. But other than that, I think I went through the entire because I usually go through number 42's list and go back a few weeks and try and see what I can find.
Oh yeah. And FTFE had another debate with what's his called, Son or something.
Yeah, so you can't debate Son. You can just have him on.
I watched a few. I think I just watched the start of it because Son was trying to tell how his Starlink internet connection worked.
Yeah.
FTFE now has a Starlink.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Dish out the back, pointing straight up in the sky, and someone was going, "Oh no, it's connecting to the towers." What towers?
What towers?
What towers? Yeah. And how come it has to reacquire another tower every 5 minutes?
That's right. Yeah.
Exactly. I've got a GPS tracker on my phone, and it will show me on the screen what satellites it's getting a signal from. And if you leave it up long enough, you'll see that they're all moving.
Yeah.
And there's no migratory cell towers around here, I can tell you. They tend to stay where they're bloody put, unless the wind's really strong.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't see the Skylink dish sort of following the satellite because it's a phased array. It's the actual beam that follows the satellite, not the dish. But it still acquires a new satellite roughly every 5 minutes or so because that's how long it takes the satellite to go across from one horizon to the other. Yeah.
I was trying to take a photo of Jupiter the other day. Rotten thing kept moving. And I was trying to get the tracker to work, but I have a feeling my camera was weighing down the motor and it was just getting off. Anyway, got to stop these planets and stars moving and make it so much easier. I do have a Mr. Where is he? Lindsay.
Oh, there we go. I'm getting readings from. Oh no, it was 20. Making its mind up between 22 and 23 satellites at the moment.
Yeah, that's the thing. You try and explain this, and they just go through the. They just don't get it. They don't get also the density if they were satelloons or towers. What that density would have to be, even if the Earth was flat, to get the same sort of signal. Just you'd see them. You'd look up and you'd see, 30 satellites. Every time everyone got it in a plane, you'd see these things. The plane would be dodging them. Yes.
They ain't cell towers. No. There aren't that many cell towers around here.
Bouncing off the dome. Well, except that the bouncing off the dome doesn't add up either. So
no. See, they have to come up with so many bullshit stories to explain away something that's actually very simple. But that means acknowledging that space is a thing and satellites are real.
Well, Jin was in Gems the other night. He's going about degassing. It's apparently one of his current latest things. There's no way that's outgassing, was it? Yeah, whatever. It was crap. But the argument was just logically flawed. It can't be. You have to have because the outgassing. There's no way the Apollo mission could make it from Earth to the. But his whole argument is based on what would happen in space. But he doesn't believe in space. So where's he getting? This is what would happen in space. And when Jem pulled up, well, what happens to the metal, etc., that makes up a vacuum chamber? Wouldn't that also be outgassing and disintegrate itself? For these vacuum chambers that are on for quite long periods of time. Oh no, that's different because that's on Earth, but it's sort of like, but you don't believe there's space, so how can it be different? The usual.
Yeah, a vacuum is a vacuum is a vacuum.
Yeah. So,
outgassing.
Yes, apparently the metals would disintegrate. When they went to.
Well, he has no idea what outgassing is because it's not about things disintegrating.
No, but that's what he thinks it is.
It's about gases being dissolved in the surfaces of materials. And when you have no overpressure above those materials to keep those gases in, they tend to boil off. And that's what outgassing is. Nothing more, nothing less.
That's why water appears to boil when it's in a vacuum chamber, right?
Yeah.
All the other gases are not suspended, no longer suspended. Oh, well, the pressure isn't there to keep them suspended.
It can be a problem in concrete.
Can be, yes. That's why they don't use concrete in vacuum chambers much.
But it doesn't stop spaceships working in space.
No.
That's why you gotta be careful what you use concrete for. Certain things you can't use concrete for.
You also got to be careful what type of concrete you use.
And the mixture, yeah.
As they've discovered over here recently.
Oh, right, yeah.
You know, we said that this cheap and lightweight form of concrete would only last 30 years. Yeah, we told you that 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Aerated
and
concrete.
You all forgot about it.
Aerated concrete is maybe not as long lasting.
And not important places, schools,
hospitals, foundations.
Aero concrete.
Oh, dear.
And of course, over here, when do they decide to tell everybody that these schools might have it? A week before they come back from their summer holidays. Yeah, well done.
It's always the way, isn't it?
You thought you was going to come back. No, you're not.
No.
we shut your school because it might fall on top of your head.
And they've probably been told this for the last 3 years, and then it's got to the point where some inspector said, "No, we're gonna have to condemn this one." That's when they actually do something about it.
Well, they warned them about this years and years ago, and they just went, "We'll worry about that another time." Yeah, when things start disintegrating and fall on top of people's heads, yeah, that's when they start to worry about it.
Well, I always found it weird that the people think that 20 years is a good good warranty to have on a house or a building. To me, like, no, you'd want at least 100 years if you can have a warranty on a building. Because
we used to offer a 20-year guarantee on the external plant rooms that we built, and we thought that was pretty good for something that's welded together and had some cladding put over the top of it, and then sat outside for 20 years. And if you did it properly, it would last 20 years, which is why I had to keep going around and sort of saying, "Why aren't you painting this steel?" "Well, because Harry told us not to." Bloody paint it.
Otherwise, it's going to get rusty and fall apart.
Bloody director was always trying to save money and then saying, "Oh, we offer a 20-year guarantee." Not if you leave the steel unexposed, because it'll just rust in no time. Oh, we're trying to save some money.
Conditions on guarantees, yeah.
Oh.
Well, shall we play my new bingo card? Yeah, let me post it. Where are we?
Yeah, let's give it a go.
Let's give it a go, see if it works. Chat. That's the new card. Let's set it up in here. It's a bit weird. I have to set it up here and then post it out. There we go. Fedora. And those that would like to play Lindsay Bingo. Let's see what I get. Truth. Got any new ones?
I
think any of them. Frequency. Frequency is a new one. That was one I added.
Yeah.
A biblical chord. Biblical chord. I don't even know if I spelled it right.
You've got that right. Umbilical cord. That's right. Equilibrium. That's correct.
Stars is a new one. I don't know why I didn't have stars before, but I didn't. So stars is a new one. Anyone who got stars, that's a new one.
Do you know, actually, I think you spelled everything right.
Yeah. I live in fear of Paul pointing it out to me.
A gold star.
You still haven't told me if I got that question right, Paul.
Yes, you did.
Oh, good. Because there's a bit of chicken scratching, so I think it took me a little while to work out where to get started on that one. Oh, right, okay, it's got to be sort of this, and then I got to 7. That sounds about right.
You've still got celestial cap.
I better have a top up before we start.
Celestial cap. Hang on.
Celestial.
Celestial cap.
Oh, I don't want to see that.
Oh, I don't think I've got that on my card.
Yeah, it's not on my card, so I think it's making it up, even though I can see where I've spelt it wrong. Because I have a list in my running sheet. I keep a list in case something goes wrong and I have to regenerate the card or something. Or if I find that I've spelt it and Paul's, I can quickly fix it so he doesn't notice.
What, regenerate it like Doctor Who?
I'll put a note to fix it for the next time. Okay, I've only got the one card myself, but you're welcome to have as many cards as you want.
The umbilical cord? What notes has that got in it?
Umbilical cord? I've got a cord. It's not CHORD.
It's a power cord.
Power cord. How do you spell umbilical cord? I don't think I've
ever. But it sounds good.
I've written cord before and I've written umbilical. I don't think I've ever put umbilical cord together in one sentence ever before. Like written down. Not obviously said it. Because my son when he had his 2 transplants, it was cord blood transplant. Rather than bone marrow transplant. So, I've got to look that up now. Yeah, we spell cord.
No, you're right.
He's got me guessing. Chord. There we go.
You're right.
Yeah, good.
You got paranoid.
Lord.
Got me worried. I got to get in trouble. I was pretty sure it wasn't CHO. That's going to get me worried.
Okay. You've got the right spelling. Don't panic.
Right. Don't panic.
Don't panic.
Don't panic. If I could speak it in large, comfortable letters, I would.
Okay. You ready, Dora? Let's see what Lindsay's got to say. Better put on Lindsay speed.
I don't know. That bit in the middle doesn't bode very well, does it?
That's just like the puzzle I did the other day with Paul. It was to try and work out the angle at the top. That one's a little bit easier than the run we were doing.
Welcome to the Tomb of Elimination. Today we're going to talk about a few books.
That sounded like elimination for a second there. I thought that was more appropriate.
Some knowledge that you might want to delve into. If you've been following me, you want to understand what I talk about, where it all comes from. These are 3 books that you should read. These are like, you could consider these the Bible. That one.
Way of Hermes.
That one. And this one. The most amazing books I've ever bought, never read. For me, anyway.
None of them mention what you're talking about, but okay.
Even Plato's Dialogues is, I love that book as well, and even, there's lots of books I love, but even Homer's Iliad and the, what's the other one? Whatever it is, can't remember. But you really want to get this book, eh? You want to read it and read it and read it again. Okay? All the secrets. Oh, it's all about rebirth in here. This one's got a lot of information on the physics of Earth. Okay? Read these books and understand how I describe the Earth. You'll get a full understanding of everything. Okay, I'm going to read some of this. I'd love to read the whole thing, but you need to get this book and read it yourself. I bought the whole 3 of these in Cairo when I was in Egypt. I got these 3 books out of the bookstore over there. Man, have I never regretted it. I'll just read a few passages. Give you an idea.
Yes.
Starts off, I'll translate as forward, but whoever wrote this knows. The heart of the Hermetic teaching contained in this book is the realization that the individual is fundamentally no different from the Supreme. This realization is gnosis, a single, immediate event characterized as a second birth. This teaching outlines the spiritual path that prepares the way for this gnosis, which is not achieved by any effort of the ordinary mind. Okay? You're talking about this a lot in my videos. It's the pairing, mind and heart, reaching singularity, the most divine event.
We're not going to fill our cards out, are we?
No.
Lindsay took those words to heart.
What terrible way do the ignorant go wrong, said I.
Yeah, he does.
That they have been deprived of immortality. He said, "You seem not to have taken heed of the things you have heard. Did I not tell you to keep these things in mind?" "Thank you," I replied. "I will do so and remember." He continued, "If you have remembered, tell me, why are those who are in death worthy of death?" I replied, "Because the grim darkness is the first origin of one's own body, from which darkness arose the watery nature, from which darkness the body is formed in the sensory world of which death drinks."
I see.
It's a bit deep, that one. Man is born into darkness, okay, until you go to your gnosis and gain the nous. The nous. Raise your soul to get this nous. Knowledge, nous. What we got here?
Sounds like a hair condition.
If the bodiless is divided, it is endowed with being. If it is God, it stands apart from being. Otherwise, it would be perceptible. For us, God is the highest perception, but not for him. For that which is perceived by the senses of the perceiver. Therefore God is not perceived by himself, however, in that he is not other than that which is perceived.
So God doesn't know who he
does
is.
perceive himself. Talking about the man is mind, I think, there. And never become God. The supreme God, good, is not at all alien to God. It is inseparable from him, as it is God himself. Full stop. All the other immortal gods are honoured by the name of God. However, God is good, not by being honoured, but by his nature. For the nature of God is one, supreme goodness. God and goodness are one generative power, from which come all generations. He who gives all and takes nothing is good. God gives all and takes nothing. So God is the supreme good, and the supreme good is God. What have I been saying in my videos? God is good. I read this years ago.
Which God?
Yeah, which one?
What have we got here?
Biblical God created evil.
The other name is that of the Father, by virtue of him being the author of all things. So you've got to consider the Father as the black hole and all the action around it. He's the voided zone, all that action around the Father. Because the sun is on the horizon of the Father, the black hole. For the Father's nature is to create. Therefore, some people mightn't like this one. You know, in the Bible it says, go forth and multiply. Yeah, well, I'll start that again. The other name is that of the Father, by virtue of him being the author of all things. For the Father's nature is to create. Therefore the raising of children is held in the greatest esteem in the life and most blessed by right-thinking people. And the greatest misfortune and impiety is when someone departs from mankind without children, for he suffers punishment after death from the divine powers. This is the retribution,
Doesn't say that in the Bible,
that the soul without children is condemned to a body that is neither male nor female, and is cursed by the sun. Therefore, Asclepius, do not congratulate anyone without children, but rather take pity on his misfortune, knowing what punishment awaits him. Let this much be spoken as a foretaste to the understanding of the nature of all, or of the all. So down here it goes, there is substantial evidence that a portion of the opening of Book 2 of the Corpus Hermeticum, as well as the entire intervening book, have been lost from the manuscripts. In manuscripts that contain titles for Tat. What follows in the manuscripts, however, is addressed to Asclepius, suggesting that at early point a treatise was lost. Additional another one.
He's appalling at reading.
He is.
All beings were undefined and unwrought. The light elements were then separated off and raised on high, and the heavy were founded firmly upon the watery sand.
Ah,
okay.
What is beneath?
All beings were defined and upwrought. The light elements were then separated off the raised on high. Now we're going back to the physics here. The tropical gap. What's going on here? The purification, the recycling of the earth. I've been over plenty of times in my videos.
Oh.
All beings were undefined and upright. It's a recycling system. The light elements were then separated. They fall back to the earth. This is why we've got deserts, sand areas either side of the tropics there, where all the waste falls as the water molecule goes up off the earth and purifies. It all comes from the earth and goes up through this tropical region.
Comes back down again, thanks.
And the heavy were founded firmly upon the watery sand. All was distinguished by fire. It gets burnt out of here. This is the radiation science talks about. It's all through magnetism, actually, north and south pole. It's all through here.
How do you get
That's
that?
what they call the
I
fire.
don't know. Apart from being no magnetism, there's no radiation.
All was raised up to be supported by the breath of life. The vault of heaven appeared in 7 circles. So it goes up through, you're going through the inert gaseous layers. They're changing their states before it's completely shredded and then comes through the sun. And then the mist drops back to the centre Arctic where you get the pure water, related to the Buford Gaia. The vault of heaven appears in 7 circles, and the gods appeared
Except the
in
guy
the
is
form of
not
stars with all
sinner.
their constellations, and heaven with the gods was complete in every detail. The universe was encompassed by air and substance on its circular course by divine spirit. All connected to up here, all the stars in here. It's just the pure water. The purest of water gets right up in here.
Well, it can't be pure. It
Pure
just went through all that
hydrogen.
radiation.
Helium creates the sun, of course. It's a recycling system of it. They're sort of touching on it there. That's going a bit deep. What have we got here? Being supremely good, he set it up in dedication to the one alone, and he wished to adorn the earth as the form of the body of God. He sent down man, a mortal being, from an immortal being. The cosmos rules over the life of living beings, and man rules over the cosmos by means of speech and nous. For man becomes the witness of God's work, and he worshipped the Creator and came to know him. Okay, the reborn man, the rebirth, the man will know all about this.
But
You have to realise speech, it's all sound, and we create the world around us through sound, through speech, because it's all in the mind. If you're saying negative things, it feeds into your mind. There's someone out there on the internet at the moment having a meltdown, a lot of bitterness coming out of his mouth. It's only going to cook him. Therefore, O
yeah,
Tet,
said that
God has given the word
Irish too.
to all men to partake in, but not so with nous.
Yes.
He was not jealous
Oh,
for
that-
jealousy
that's
of anyone, does not originate from there, but is created in the souls of men who have no nous.
Oh, another page. Oh.
Perceptions of these people are like those of dumb animals. Let's go up a bit. Those who missed the proclamation. Okay, let's start at the top here. Plunge into the bowl.
Start on a new
Oh,
page.
go back. Go back a little bit.
But if I go into the top, the best place to start when you read a new
I'm
page.
supposed to read all this. Then why, O Father, has God not given to everyone a share of nous? He willed, my son, to set it up as a prize before souls. Seek and ye shall find. You have to work for it. And where did he set it up? He filled a great bowl with nous and sent it down, and he appointed a herald to make this announcement to the hearts of men.
Where's this
Okay.
coming from?
Got to be in the right state of mind to receive that bowl. Probably something with the bowl you see in the ancient Egyptian depictions. They were showing a bowl, aren't they? Plunge into the bowl,
No.
if you can, having faith that you will raise to him that sent down the bowl, realizing why you came into being. Those who heard the proclamation merged with nous, partook of higher knowledge and became perfect and complete, since they had received nous. Those who missed the proclamation had the world, but had not received nous, ignorant as they were as to why they were born and from whom. The perceptions of these people are like those of dumb animals, having a mixture of rage and lust. They do not value things worthy of their attention, but turn to the pleasures and appetites of the body, believing that man was born for that reason. Those who partook in the gift of God, O Tate, are immortal rather than mortal, if one considers their works. They comprehend all in their nous, whatever is on earth, in heaven and beyond heaven. Having thus raised themselves, they see the supreme good, and realizing that, they regard time spent here as a misfortune. Disregarding the gross and the subtle, they hasten to the one alone. You've been sacrificed, in other words, okay? And you come to realise you're surrounded by the flippin' drongos. Can't wait to get to singularity, heaven, but you can't commit suicide. Nobody can do that. This tat is the knowledge of nous and the vision of what comes from God. It is the perception of God, since the bowl is of God. got here? These things being so, Tat, the things of God have always belonged and will always belong to us. May what comes from us accord with that, and may there be no delay. Since God is not the cause of evils, we are to blame, preferring these things to what is good. Do you see, O son, how many bodies we have to pass through, how many bands of demons, through how many series of repetitions and cycles of the stars, before we hasten to the one alone? All this has to be crossed. The supreme good is unlimited, and it has no beginning and no end. But to us it appears that knowledge has a beginning. It's all about reincarnation, you see. Over and over and over again. See what time's got left here. I'm only in 18 minutes, a bit of time left. What have we got here? Book 5, Hermes to Tat. This teaching also I shall fully expand to you, O Tat, so that you are not shut off from God, who is too great for a name. Understand that what appears unmanifest to many will become most evident to you, for it would not exist if it were not manifest to you. Everything that is manifest has been brought into being, for it has been brought to light. Everything is of the light. However, this could be talking about the mind there. However, the unmanifested exists always. It does not need to appear, for it exists always, and it makes everything else manifest. Of the mind, you see. Though it itself is unmanifest, since it always is. That which makes manifest is not itself made manifest, for it has not been brought forth. But it brings all images to the mind in imagination. Things that are begotten belong only to the imagination, for imagination is nothing but begetting. Few are the seeds of God, but they are mighty, beautiful and good. Virtue, self-control and devotion to God. Devotion to God is knowledge of God. He who has discovered it is filled with all that is good, and he is endowed with divine understanding, which is not like the understanding of the multitude. Therefore those who are seated in knowledge neither please the multitude, nor does the multitude please them. Okay? So if you're full of knowledge, you just get all these dummies like this clan of Dan jumping on your site, being complete ignoramuses. They seem to be mad and have become a laughing stock. Well, this is the person who knows, you see. They looked at it, seem to have been mad and have become as a laughing stock. They are hated and despised and may even be put to death. Evil, we say, must needs live down here in its own country. What? Evil, we say, must needs live down here in its own country. Its country is the earth, but not the cosmos, as some blasphemously affirm. However, the man who fears God will support all, since he has realized true knowledge. For to such a man all things are good, even those that are evil for others. When entangled with difficulties, he refers all things to true knowledge. He alone turns evil into good. The unmoving nous moves matter thus. Since the cosmos is a sphere, that is a head, and there is nothing material above the head. What have I been saying? Nothing physical above our heads. When they talk about sphere, they're talking about the two hemispheres of the brain, not a round skull as a round ball. This is a head, and there is nothing material above the head, as there is nothing mental below the feet. Where all is matter, no nous is the head. So nous is the head, and is itself moved as a sphere, that is, in a manner appropriate to a head, the brain. There's the cycle, continuous cycle. You could say that Well, it's not really a sphere either, is it? But it's you can consider the Earth as a toroidal field. You can call it a sphere if you want. And is immortal by nature, just as even the body is made in the soul, so all that is united to the head is far more soul than body. But in further away from the tissues of the head is mortal, having within it more body than soul. Every living being, like the cosmos, is composed of matter and nous. Let's go back there. Therefore, all that is united to the tissue of this head is the soul. Is the soul. United with the tissues of the head is the soul, and is immortal by nature, just as even the body is made is the soul, so all that is united to the head. Blah, blah, blah. This isn't sounding like it.
That's the most intelligent thing you said so far.
I'm reading it alone. It's just so more in depth. Seems more amazing. For the generations of matter depend on eternity, just as eternity depends on God. Generations and time are both in heaven and earth and have two forms. In heaven they are unchangeable and corruptible. On earth they are both changeable and corruptible. See how the seven worlds, arranged in an eternal order, lie beneath it, filled out eternity by their different courses. This is the seven inert gaseous layers of the atmosphere. All is full of light. See, each layer is a frequency layer, you could say a colour layer, yet nowhere is there fire. For love and the blending of opposites and dissimilarities have given birth to light, which shines forth by the power of God, source of every good being, principle of all order, ruler of the seven worlds. See the moon, the forerunner of them all, instrument of nature, transforming matter below.
I got two in a row. Is that
See the earth set in the midst of all, fixed foundation of the beautiful cosmos.
Well, if it is,
nourisher and nurse of earthly creatures. Consider the vast multitude of beings, both immortal and mortal, and how between them the moon pursues her round. Okay, the moon is like the, what do I call it? The oscillator. It flows across the planets, back and forth, a harmonic oscillator. Let's read that one again, it's quite good. See how the seven worlds, arranged in an eternal order, lie. You could talk about the planetary waves, actually, if you wanted to. Arranged in an eternal order, lie beneath it. See how the seven worlds, arranged in an eternal order, lie beneath it. Let's go back a bit, Everything must always be begotten at exactly the right place. The Creator is in everything. He does not dwell just in one thing, nor does he just create one thing. He begets them all. His power being active is not separate from what he has begotten, for all that is begotten exists by reason of him. Through me, behold the cosmos, open to your vision, and contemplate deeply its beauty, its body without taint. Nothing is more ancient. It is even new and even in its prime. Indeed, it exceeds its prime. See how the seven worlds, arranged in an eternal order, lie beneath it, filling out eternity by their different courses. All is full of light, yet nowhere is there fire. For love and the blending of opposites and dissimilarities have given birth to light, which shines forth by the power of God, source of every good being, principle of all order, ruler of the seven worlds. See the moon, forerunner of them all, instrument of nature, transforming matter below. See the earth, set in the midst of all, fixed foundation of the beautiful cosmos. Okay?
Good. Oh,
you know.
Crabs.
That was painful.
It was.
Apart from not
We were
getting
never
any
going to get
words.
bingo on that one.
Oh, yeah.
I had no chance.
No. But
I got 2 in a row quite a few times.
But that book he's reading from, it was something written in, what, 1000 AD or something. It's not ancient Greek or anything. It's just some guy who's written this up. But it seems to be. I can't seem to see any, where it's come from. Very weird. I need a drink. Yes, I can say that. Well, the best I got was two together, and then a whole lot of letters all over the place. I don't know if anyone did any better.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows of 2 across 2 cards.
Oh, yes, better than me. It was, I got a few there. I was very tempted to think he pointed it at the vortex. And, he always says that it's expanding. No, didn't get any of those. Yeah, it was a bit sad. So that be. More Lindsay, says Clive. Oh, Clive. One day I'll take you up on that. Except that you have to come in so that we can make sure that you're actually listening to it. And then
There used to go, more Lindsay, right, and then bugger off for half an hour.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, we know.
Need to make sure. I got a Dan. I haven't watched this Dan. I don't know if anyone's seen this Dan. And he came up a little ago. Flat Earther confronts
Oh,
telescope.
it's one he posted today, this morning.
Yeah. So I haven't watched it till let's listen to some Dan, so make sure it's not on.
Who has given us so much joy over the years. From trying to get a laser to reach the moon, to taking the sun's temperature with a thermometer. He has done it all. But today, he's done something which I can't quite believe. He's calling up telescope companies and asking them if their footage online is fake. Hello everyone and welcome along to this Saturday edition of Flat Earth Friday with me, Simon and Dan. Thank you very much for joining me. Just a quick reminder that I've totally revamped the memberships on this channel. You can click the join button under this video and have a look and see what's up for grabs, including private Discord groups, merch discounts and monthly video updates. Right, on with the show as we join Mikey at home, jumping on a call with the telescope company Celestron. For a bit of context, Mikey has recently been filming stars through a pair of high-powered binoculars. And he's been using his phone to record the image through one of the viewfinders. And he's been getting images of stars like this. I know. I know. Take it away, Mikey.
Hello, thank you for calling Celestron. May I help you?
Oh, good day. How are you?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing okay. I'm kind of confused a little bit, so I'm phoning you. I got some questions here. I got your 25 by 100 binoculars, and they work absolutely wonderful, obviously.
Right now, the guy working for Celestron on the other end of the phone is probably not too concerned. I think this is going to go south fairly quickly.
But my concern is, I know a lot of your well, I think they might even have your telescope there because it was updated. I went to an observatory here in Saskatchewan, Canada, and so what I'm seeing through my binoculars is the actual star. So when I go to an observatory that has a telescope like yours, and I'm pretty sure it was a Celestron, 8-inch or 10-inch or whatever it was.
Still relatively okay, and kudos to you, Mikey, for actually going to an observatory.
The star seemed like it was further away than it should be.
Now, is this doubt creeping into Mikey's mind here, or is he going to totally dismiss it? Now, of course it would have seemed far away because I imagine that telescope would have had that star in focus.
And I've been watching a lot of TikTok videos on people with their telescopes, and they're cutting their footage and then inserting a CGI image from NASA.
Yes, he did just say that. He said to someone that works for Celestron that amateur astronomers are cutting out images of NASA photos and putting them into their videos and photos, claiming them as their own. Now let's remember that proper amateur astronomers take some wonderful images from their telescopes from their own back gardens. The photos on screen now are all amateur astronomer photos, not NASA ones.
Now I'm curious on why this is happening, and if your telescopes are very well manipulated to fake stuff that makes it appear that someone has actually seen a so-called galaxy.
I wonder what this Celestron employee is thinking now.
Because I have video
Still
footage
on
now.
the
The star Sirius looks like a frequency. And it's embedded in the firmament. It is not millions of miles away.
Looks like
I just
a
recorded
frequency.
Capella, and it's about half the size of the star Sirius with the same frequency. And I'm going to confirm that the three big stars, anyways, there's hundreds of stars in Orion's belt, but I'm going to focus on the three giant ones. And they're all going to be exactly the same as the star Sirius and Capella.
Just for reference again, here is Mikey's picture of Sirius. And here is his picture of Capella, out of focus, recorded with a camera phone through a binocular eyepiece.
And so, yeah, I've been sending a lot of my video footage
like
to some
professional
astronomers, and I'm trying to figure out why this is going on, because I'm getting kind of frustrated with all these cartoon images that I'm getting from people. And even on Amazon customer reviews, you know, like they're
Yes,
putting
Dora.
in literally
Serious.
images from Google or from NASA, because they're not actual real photos. They're just images. And I'm wondering why that's happening.
Poor Mikey. He can't quite believe that he's not skilled enough to get a certain image. So to him, that must mean that all the other images are fake. I really do think that with some more observation and proper guidance, Mikey could genuinely be one of our strongest allies. I think he could be for turning. I don't know. What do you think?
Nah.
Okay, yeah, so when it comes to the telescopes, so you'll definitely see something different than, say, like with NASA or even with, what do you call it, like astrophotography, because what happens is they tend to do like layering with different filters, with different with different color filters, stuff like that. So the images will look different and clearer depending on the type of light that's being emitted around the object. So it might, like, if you filter out red light, it will look different, yellow light, blue light, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So the images will change depending on the filter, and then depending on the type of telescope.
Bless that call handler. He's been super polite there, and a very good answer as well. Live viewing in a telescope is almost always different to the final result photos.
Do you happen to know what type of telescope it was that you're using the observatory? This is in the observatory that you're talking about?
Yeah, the one in Saskatchewan. I'm not sure the exact one, but it would have been like something like I'm gonna say it would be like, I'm just looking at your catalog here, like the Edge HD, or okay, hold on, yeah, HD, the because it had the keypad on it too. The I would say the Edge HD 800. Yeah, and again, I want to know, like, what would be the magnification? Is there a number for that for those telescopes?
Most telescopes have a useful magnification of around 50 to 200 times. Anything more than around 400 times, and Earth's atmosphere gets in the way, and it's just not feasible.
Or is it measured in a different way?
So it all let me find it. So let me see. So yeah, it all depends on the aperture. So if it's an 800, it depends on the focal length, which for this, the focal length is 2,032 millimeters. The aperture is 203.2 millimeters. So it all kind of depends. So with the 800 and the HD specifically, those are very good for capturing details and stuff like that. But with like a larger scope, and say like something that NASA uses, or even between the 800 or even the 1400.
Yeah.
Look at him shaking his head when that guy mentions NASA. Of course, when you've got a telescope orbiting Earth, atmosphere doesn't get in the way. It's not a problem, so they can magnify more.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because what I've been recording Like I know the stars aren't far. They're like no more than 75 miles away, and I'm not joking when I say that.
Oh, that poor Celestron worker.
They literally look. So the Sirius satellite radio, their icon looks exactly like the star Sirius.
What, a dog?
Because it looks like a Wi-Fi signal.
Ah, the Wi-Fi bit. Yeah, that's because your focus is all over the place. And I imagine there's some diffraction spikes as well, which when wobbled and out of focus make it look like that.
Literally, like it's a frequency. There's a main base to the star, and then there's a frequency that comes out of the top and the bottom of it. And I can get it in very good detail. Like it's not millions of miles away. There's no way in hell. Nobody would ever see it through their telescope. You'd have to have a telescope with 200 magnification, or 1,000,000 in order to see something millions of miles away.
Yet you see the sun every day. 93 million miles. This is what happens when you use a telescope correctly and a proper camera. You get a beautiful photo of Sirius.
And again, I'm confirming day by day or week by week what I'm doing. Like Capella, the star Sirius, and Orion's belt. I'm already stating on my YouTube channel what I'm going to do, and I do it. That's how much I've figured this out. So I'm very curious on these telescopes. Like I really do think they're purposely built to push the star away, not magnify it or bring it any closer. Because I've only got the binoculars, 25 by 100s, and then I hook up my cell phone to it and I zoom in and record it as a video, and it's outrageous. I'm literally kicking the crap out of the whole concept of space, and it does not even exist.
How is this guy not laughing right now? I mean, I'm used to it, proper desensitized. But this guy must be thinking, what in the name of...
There is 100% a firmament up there, and I would even put money on it. Millions of dollars worth.
No, don't say that, Mikey. Oh, the cringe.
So I'm just kind of curious on, like, I've sent a video to you guys once before, and I think I might have to do that again, because I recorded Sirius back in April the 12th or 13th or something like that, and I have documented it again. So I've already confirmed what I've recorded in April, and I just did it a few days ago. And like I said, I did Capella and every other big star in the sky, which is fixed in the firmament, because there is no depth to the stars. They're all at the same level. In the Big Dipper, the spoon part and the handle are in the same level. They're not thousands of miles away behind each other, like depth. You know how you could see down the street, house after house after house. So the furthest house is further away from you, obviously. But none of the stars in the sky are further behind each other. They're just beside each other.
I can't carry on with this, but just so we're doing things correctly, let's show Mikey the relative positions of all the stars in the Big Dipper so he can see their distances away from each other. Here we go, Mikey, just for your viewing pleasure. And with that, we leave Mikey on the phone with the Celestron worker, and we say we're done and dusted for another Flat Earth Friday. This Saturday edition of Flat Earth Friday, of course. Thanks so much for watching, truly is appreciated. If you enjoyed this particular one, please do consider subscribing to the channel, and of course, if you really enjoyed it, hit that thumbs up too. And if you really, really, really enjoyed it, share it with your friends as well. I've been Simon Dan, have yourselves a great day, and I'll see you all tomorrow for the final Flat Earth Friday of the week, where we're visiting Phuket Word. I know we were supposed to be...
Did he say the final Flat Earth Friday of the week?
He did.
Okay.
Today, but
yeah, he did mean to say yeah, I know. Okay.
Switch it around. That's why we have Mikey today. And then, of course, we've got the live stream on Sunday night. I'll see you then.
What's his live stream on Sunday night? I think it's...
Don't know. Didn't know that he was doing one.
Mentioned it there.
I wanted to hear more of the guy at the other end of the phone.
Yeah, so did I. Want to know what his reaction was to what Mikey was saying. Oh no, it's only 75 miles away. Well, does that mean someone who's 100 miles away from Mikey can't see the same star?
I guess, yeah.
Because,
that would follow.
It would have to be. It's like Blartek, who tries to say that the sun is only 500 miles in the sky. Yet we can see it from Perth and Sydney at the same time. And they're 4,000 k's away, which means the sun is embedded in the middle of the desert. Yeah. Fun stuff. Oh, gee. Well, what else? What else we got? We do have some. What's his name? I'll find it on there. Switch back. Oops. I was looking at that Celestron model that he was talking about. Put the page here. Let's talk about this one. It's a pretty nice one.
Oh.
Hmm.
That's a bit of kit.
It's a bit of kit. $3 grand. I would have thought the observatory might have had something a bit better than that as well, but I mean,
that's what I would have thought.
Yeah, that's not a bad bit of kit for someone at home might have, or a serious amateur. It's a bit bigger than mine.
How many inches is that?
8 inches aperture. 80 inches for focal length.
No, diameter.
Oh,
tube.
Not the tube. 8 inches. Oh, sorry. Hang on. Yeah, 8 inches. Yeah. It's fairly hefty. They had something similar to that come up on auction a while back, but even at auction second hand, I couldn't afford one. I think it went for about $1 grand second hand. So, and that was massive. I saw it checked out the auction site. It's huge when you see them, even though it's only 8 inches. The things just feel like you need a lorry to, a good what's it to move it around. Trolley, that's the word I was thinking for, not lorry. I've been trying to get some pictures of Jupiter because I can see it quite well, but I can't get a good picture of it. Oh, here's Blue. G'day, Blue. But I can't get this idea that they think they're in focus. If you told them, okay, I want you to focus on that thing, or that person in the distance, and they would see it go blurry, and then it would get smaller, and then it would come into focus, and then they'd keep going, they'd go out of focus. They'd almost say, well, obviously it's in focus at this point. Why do they not do the same for stars? Because surely, if you focus it, you don't get what they see, even with the poorer equipment they're using. Not that I've ever tried to focus on stars with binoculars, but yes, I agree, Judy. I don't think that's an observatory photographer, but I suspect they had amateur night or something, and all the
could have done.
Yeah, all the amateurs are up there with their.
They should have told Mikey he came on the wrong night. It wasn't idiot night; it's amateur night.
It's amateur night. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Maybe he thought he was going to do a comedy skit, because I'm sure everyone would have laughed at him if he just he just said to the poor Celestron guy. Oh, dear. How are you, Blue?
Good. How are you?
Not too bad. I gave a plug to your video, but I didn't play your video, funnily enough, for 2 hours, 41 minutes. You had a video come up today.
Well,
yeah.
Takes a while to play that one.
Does take a little while. Any highlights you think? Not that or was it just all Bev?
No, it's all absolutely excellent. I can't.
Everyone should watch it from go to woe.
Yeah. Many times, please. Yes.
Yeah, many times.
Yes.
And maybe a few. Yeah. And maybe subscribe to your. You still got a Patreon account?
So, huh?
Still got a Patreon account, haven't you? They could.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you put more money in there to encourage you to do more and more videos.
Yeah.
Well, we're a bit quiet tonight. I don't think there was not a lot of not as stupid stuff on that I could find.
I do have a quiz.
You have a quiz?
I do. A not so hard quiz.
A not so hard quiz.
That would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, how about we do a not so hard quiz? Because I've just got the plight of Brie expat taffy. So I think I prefer to have a not so hard.
Yes, he's started up again, hasn't he?
Yeah.
What an idiot.
Yes. So, yes. And that was a bit dull. So I think a not so hard quiz would be much more interesting. Except
I'll just wait for
except I just want to see.
Slack to do.
Yeah, go on.
I think it's Bertie that debunks him, isn't it?
Yeah. The Creaky, he was going at Creaky though. That particular one, Creaky had a bit of a go at him. Well, either that or he got the wrong person because I skimmed through it and that's what came up. Here's a plain blue can blow. You can have this plain blue, which looks like something you'd like. Uses less fuel than a 4-wheel drive.
What kind of 4-wheel drive?
Wonder uses a lot of fuel. It looks like it's using.
It's comparing it with those huge American trucks that just seem to piss fuel up the wall.
Well, it looks like it's using hydrogen. I'll have to play that one later and get a little bit more what it's doing. Because what I read through there, it was using 8 times of bringing emission-free electric aviation. So obviously it's using that.
God, that's just ugly.
Oh, you don't like that plane? Yes, you just don't want to stand it up right and not have the wings visible. So it looks like a particular object that you don't let your mother see.
Looks like a flying turd.
Well, it's only got one. Has it only got one? Oh no, it's just the shot. It made it look like it only had one wingtip. Oh, okay.
No, it's got 2 winglets.
Yeah, it's just the angle it was at. Rear mounted prop motor. Oh, yeah. Okay, you ready? Oh no, you're not. You're probably not. You're probably waiting for someone to give you rights to share, because that would be.
Yeah, that'd be handy.
Yeah.
That would be handy. All right. There you go.
Ooh.
Holy moly.
Don't think we've seen all of those before. Not that I'm keeping count.
Holy gosh.
Not that you're keeping memory of what's been on there before or not, Timbo. Hey?
No, it's just unfortunate. I've got a fairly good graphics memory. So.
Okay. All right, here we go then. Okay. Question 1. Constructed from 3 small flashing incandescent lamps arranged as a Y, this small device's inventor had the idea for it while hanging a clock in the bathroom and subsequently hitting his head on the sink.
Traffic lights.
Not traffic lights. No.
Oh.
Traffic lights aren't arranged in a Y.
Well, there might have been when he first did it.
You got to go back to the future for this one.
You have an idea there?
Do you think he's got this question correct, Blue?
Huh?
Blue, do you think he's got this one correct, do you?
What did Blue say?
He said he had to go back to the future for this one.
That's what I said.
Yeah, that's what I
It
was saying.
requires 1.21 times 10 to the 9th watts to operate, which has been variously supplied by plutonium, lightning, and Mr. Fusion.
Mr. Fusion.
Yes.
Yes.
It's a flux capacitor.
That's the one I'm after.
Yes.
The flux
Dory
capacitor.
already posted it out there, but yeah.
Told you it was not so
21
hard.
gigawatts.
Yeah. Situated behind the passenger seat of a DeLorean, what is this device that Doc Brown explains makes time travel possible? It is, of course, the flux capacitor.
Yes. Now, I was repeating
Flux
what you
of
said, Blue. You said to go back to the future. I just want to know: does a bolt of lightning produce 1.21 gigawatts of electricity?
Well, that bolt of lightning did, obviously.
Yeah. Don't know. All right. Question 2. This galaxy was home to supernova 1987A, as well as a giant H2 region known as the Tarantula Nebula. What galaxy is this?
Not clear.
Not jumping out at me. Supernova sounds familiar, though.
In the revised Hubble sequence, this late-stage galaxy is classified as an SBM3 galaxy.
Well, by definition, all galaxies are far, far away.
This galaxy's companion, located in the constellation Tucana, is home to the Cepheid variable, whose observation led Henrietta Leavitt to postulate the period luminosity relationship.
Sorry, Blue, I just muted you for a second. Don't know.
Still don't know? Okay.
I'm waiting for Clive to tell us.
Until the discovery of Sagittarius dwarf elliptical galaxy, it was thought to be the closest external galaxy.
I'm not well up on my galaxies, I have to admit.
No, apart from the Milky Way
galaxy. You know this one. You do. You know it.
Sure, I've heard of it.
Named this fourth most luminous member of the local group, which, like its less luminous companion, is named for an explorer.
Dora.
Not
galaxy.
Dora, no.
Dora the Explorer.
Not Andromeda, no.
It's the one on the right or the one on the left?
Well, the one on the right would be the smaller companion.
Wouldn't it? Yeah.
That makes sense.
The one on the left is the larger companion. So guess what? One's called the large something and the other one's called the small something.
Oh, the one's named after Magellan.
That's the ones.
Yeah. I tried to think of explorers, you see, and I thought, oh, yeah, the Magellanic cloud or whatever.
Yeah, Burke, Wills.
It's the large Magellanic cloud.
You're right, I do know.
Yeah. Okay, question 3. For a set of pseudo-real representations of scalars, this symmetry is SP2D. That might sound a bit ambiguous, that clue. I'll give you another one. In the standard model, neutral currents that change this property are exceedingly rare, meaning that most frequently changes in it are accompanied by the emission of a W boson.
Boson particles. So
the matrix describing its mixing in the quarks is known as the Kabibo-Kobayashi-Maskawa, or CKM matrix, and its small off-diagonal terms are responsible for the long lifetimes of strange particles like the K-mesons.
I'm going to say neutrinos, because that's a good answer to everything.
Not neutrinos.
Okay.
Conserved by the strong interaction, what is this property of particles which describes their content of up, down, charm, strange, bottom, or top, although not their taste?
Color? No.
Not colour, no. You're on the right track, but it's not colour. Not mass, not parity.
What else have we got? Yeah, obviously it wasn't mass. Well, taste, obviously, it's not the taste.
There you go. Clive's got it right.
Flavor.
It's flavour. Yeah.
I was trying to think, what else was it?
Flavour of particles. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, question 4. It was first observed by Maraldi, whose results were unknown to Dominique Arago, a judge for the Grand Prix of 1819, whose name is sometimes attached to the phenomenon, observed while testing a hypothesis proposed by the man whose name is most commonly attached to it. What is it? You can unmute Bluey's TV's not too loud.
Yeah. I figured if he was going to say something, he was quite welcome to mute himself. Unmute himself. It's not restricted. Okay. It was just...
All right. Its existence comes theoretically from the fact that the Bessel function has a maximum at 0, which led an advocate of the particle theory of light to conclude that the wave interpretation was flawed, since he did not like Fresnel's theory of diffraction. Not Doppler.
Snell?
It's the effect we're talking about, isn't it? We're looking for.
What is the name given to the spot at the center of a diffraction pattern behind a circular object?
Does anyone know
what that's called?
Yeah. Aries disk.
Not an airy disk, no.
No?
Nope. It's been known as that, but that's not the spot. No.
Aries disk.
No, I'm thinking of another name. Starts with
G-spot.
It's a mathematician who starts with P.
That can't be right, but my Google Foo says
no.
Polymerus, P-O-L-I, Polymerus, P-O-L-I-M-E-R-O-S, Polymerus.
Nope.
Oh, he starts with P, but that's
come on, Peanuts. Someone's got to know this.
Google Foo is not helping.
No. Google Foo's not helping, hey?
Not me so far, anyway. No.
Your Google Foo led you up the wrong path. It said airy disk, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It's on the wrong type of disk.
Okay.
Diffraction
it's
disk.
known as the Poisson spot.
Poisson.
There you go.
What?
You've learned something today. Yeah. All right, question 5. On to something a bit easier. A 1973 study by Gatewood and Eichhorn failed to reproduce observations of a gravimetric wobble in this astronomical body, claimed by Peter van der Kamp, who had postulated that it was orbited by at least one gas giant. Which astronomical body?
Well,
not Bob.
Not Bob. Nibiru.
Located at right ascension, 17 hours, 57 minutes and 50 seconds. Declination, 4 degrees, 38 minutes, 19 seconds. It is a red dwarf that appears just west of Subaru of apparent magnitude 9.54. Not Nibiru. It is distinguished for having a proper motion of 10 arc seconds per year, the largest of any known star. Now you know what it is, don't you?
That Beetle guy?
Not Betelgeuse.
No.
Not Beetlejuice.
It's not the
Nope.
largest.
Come on, which star has the largest proper motion?
Oh, hell.
What is this star located in Ophiuchus? Lying a mere 5.9 light years away from Earth, making it, aside from the Centauri system, the closest star to the Sun. Yeah, the Peanuts have got it now. Clive and Dora have it. Yep.
Bernard's, yeah.
Barnard's star is the one, yeah.
Oh, right.
But the stars don't move, do they? No. Of course they do.
Well, most of them don't, but that one does.
That one obviously does. Look at it go. Yeah. Barnard's star. All right, question 6. At a conference in Japan, Encantadora claimed to offer it for sale, but only had enough to make one demonstration of its use in nanotechnology. What is it? Okay. The president allegedly had a ring made out of this material, and although it gave him radiation poisoning, it was swapped out for a fake by Batman.
Ah.
I'm not well up on Batman.
Nah.
The blue variety only affected the creation of Dr. Teng, Bizarro, and the red version, apparently
Kryptonite.
laced with tar by Gus Gorman, doesn't just block the rays of the yellow sun, it turns Superman evil.
Kryptonite.
That's the one, Timbo. Kryptonite it is, yes.
Oh.
Name these fragments from the planet Krypton. It is kryptonite. Yeah.
The green one affects Superman, but
All right, question 7. There's quite a few clues to this one. All you got to do is put them together. A gap in the spectrum of stable nuclei with Turkovich. Or it could be a model of the atom with Thomas. Or the highest electron energy level of a system at absolute zero. I'm looking for a word that ties all these together. A trolley used to maneuver a target in an early cyclotron. A golden rule for calculating decay rates. The constant controlling the coupling of the weak interactions, proposed as a theory of 4 of the particles bearing his name. A paradox about extraterrestrial life. Come on. A type of statistics with which Dirac's name is also associated. The National Accelerator Laboratory in Batavia, Illinois. Are you still there?
I'm still here.
Ain't got a clue.
Don't have any idea. I'm gonna.
These things all take their name from what Italian-American physicist?
I don't know. What's it start with?
Go with Clive and Nerd Alert
Clive.
because
Oh,
they've got it
well,
right. Yeah,
would never
it
have got
is
it.
this man. It is Enrico Fermi. Fermi is the one that ties them all together.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
Batman. I mean, Joker.
Okay, question 8. Newton thought it was impossible to eliminate, but Euler presented the macula lutea as an example of a system that counteracts it. What is it?
Very good.
Chester Moore Hall's invention of a crown and flint system, later patented by John Dolland after a legal struggle, proved that not all glass had the same index of refraction, as Newton argued, and that putting a concave lens after a standard lens would allow different wavelengths to experience the same amount of refraction. What were they trying to fix?
Distortion? No. What else are you going to get visually?
Identify this type of aberration where different colours have different focal points.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Alan would know.
Clive's already got it, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah.
It's a war between Nerd Alert and Clive.
Yeah.
It is chromatic aberration. Yeah, well done. All right, question 9. Babinet's principle states that this phenomenon for complementary intermediates is equal to no intermediates at all.
Okay.
The Rayleigh-Sommerfeld formula for it is slightly simpler than the Fresnel-Kirchhoff formula. It's superseded, but both have similar boundary conditions. The field is undisturbed in the open areas of the aperture and zero on the opaque regions of the aperture plane. In the limit of small Fresnel numbers, the Fraunhofer type only depends on the aperture angle.
That's what I was going to say, Nerd Alert, but you got there before me.
Ah, did he?
Yeah.
Name give. Give this name give. I don't know what made me write that. Name give this general term for the propagation of light near obstacles, like what's you're saying here. It is diffraction. Nerd Alert got it correct. Well done, and Clive. And your last one. Okay. Frey et al. At the Max Planck Institute for Quantum Optics showed that it held for rubidium-85 and rubidium-87 in 2004, the first precise atomic level verification of what? Not RDD either. Bessel, drawing on an earlier experiment using weights of gold, silver, lead, glass, common salt, wood, water, and wheat, enclosed in 11-foot wooden boxes, used 2 pendulums of identical length to confirm it, just as Newton had done before. Not RDD, Nerd Alert, no.
I was thinking the opposite of that, which is gravity.
Dickey famously criticised Artvoss's verification of it, suspecting that thermal events had upset the torsion balances.
What? That's what I said was gravity. Am I subtracting this? Yeah, that's a better answer, Clive.
On the right track, but not really.
Not what you're looking for. Okay.
The strong version requires that the gravitational constant really be a constant and precludes a fifth force. But most kids get excited enough seeing a feather, and bowling ball fall in a vacuum? What is it that they're testing?
Well, gravitational acceleration.
Name this principle that states that all objects fall with the same acceleration under the influence of gravity. Does anyone know what this principle is actually called?
Equivalence principle.
Which equivalence principle, Clive?
The one that Clive said.
Which one?
Which one, though?
Number 6.
There are 2 equivalence principles in physics.
Dickie's one, because he was.
Well, you can sort of guess by the second last clue which one I want.
Well, the second last was about strong and principle. I don't know what it's called.
So the strong version requires that the gravitational constant really be a constant, but the other version
would be the weak one.
Different.
Exactly.
You got it right, Timbo. Yes, it is the weak weak equivalence principle. Yeah, that's the one where all things fall at the same rate in a vacuum.
Right.
And that was your quiz for today.
Weak.
There you go.
Weak? That was weak, wasn't it, Clive? Yeah. It was. Thanks for that, Paul. Appreciate it.
No worries.
I always find them fun, even if I'm not getting them. Having done lots of trivia questions where you get, 8 out of 9 questions right, it's not a big challenge.
Are you still going on your subscription of Brilliant?
Yeah, I have a theory. I have a theory that it's they'll let me finish off this league, which comes up on Monday, right? And then I'll probably ask for money because I'm like on day 41 or something or other of and I was meant to finish on the 6th of December. It's now it's now the 16th of December. So
wow.
Yeah.
How are you finding it anyway?
Pretty good. I was sitting there. What was I running through? I went through the history of math. That was I think I posted that one. That's a good one to get points, but was quite interesting because I went through different. And
you said you started the gravitational physics one. How you finding
that? Yes, the math in that is very heavy.
Yes, it's quite challenging. Yeah.
So I haven't got very far in that one. So why not pick up after I've got my points to get in the top 15, then I go back and have a look at those because I'm not getting many points out of those ones. So yes, it does. That particular one does expect you to have a fair knowledge of math before you get into it. So,
yes,
I like very high level math. I can't say I really follow some of the math. I follow the logic, but just when they get to the math stuff, I don't.
Yeah,
I haven't come and followed that. Yes. So, we'll see how we go with that one. Oh, Archer's come out. Farmer's gone to get a drink. Well, I haven't got much more on, I've got to admit.
I'm sliding out my bloody chair.
Fixing up my chair, good idea. I haven't got much. I do have an Everett. Let's put it. I haven't put an Everett. Need to have that.
Hey, look, you don't have to go all night.
Not intended to, don't worry. But I do have an Everett on. Oh, that's the chopper one. That's the other one I was going to play. Find the other one. On the pilot one. He does have a one about a particular person in a duck suit. But where's the pilot one? I might have changed the Might have changed the thumbnail because I've got a different image. Okay. Maybe that got rid of it. It's a bit funny. Oh, I'll put this one on.
I made a video yesterday about secret operations. They got 1,500 views, so I thought I would do another one.
He's not out of his room, is he?
Yeah.
What did I say about the red door? I said don't open the red door. It was the only thing that I asked you.
What have you got against him?
I think we watched this one.
This one has to do with the spin of the Earth.
Yeah.
Empirical evidence, something that you can feel, which I don't feel any spin of the Earth.
Sure.
And not only that, I'm getting a new brain. So great things are happening at work.
I think we have.
Yeah.
It wasn't the one I was looking for. Because he had one about pilots. Where'd that one go? Yeah, let me click on here and see what pops up. One day ago. Oh, well, we'll watch this one. Definitely haven't seen this one. Oh, that's scary.
Oh my.
When
Oh,
people
yeah.
finally wake up to the truth that we do not live on a spinning ball, but rather a non-rotating level plane, and what is above, below, and beyond, we still don't know.
I have accrued 228 personal days. Starting right now, I'm using all of them. While I'm gone, you're in charge.
The first question they ask is, why the lie? Why the lie?
Godspeed.
Yeah, why are you lying there?
They want you to believe you live in a fictional world. Therefore, your fictional character, which is known as your straw man, will work in that world.
No insult intended, but you're a fraud. Your profession is a swindle, and your livelihood is dependent on the gullibility of stupid people. But again, no offense.
You cannot patent what is organic. They cannot take away and manipulate what is organic. They can create from it, but they cannot change it. So they cannot change the non-rotating level plane.
Even I can't get inside a mind this deranged. There's only one person who can. I'm working on it.
Yes, a case so confounding you're actually willing to seek my help. Hat tip, psychopath.
But they need you to believe in them and not God. They need you to believe in fiction and not reality. So therefore they've created a globe.
Greetings. As a representative from our Earth's government, we invite you to join us on a tour of one of our native medical institutions.
I'd be honored.
Beats the hell out of wrestle them to the ground.
And on this globe, they control your mind. And on this globe, they register you.
So when we found out that you had a secret plan, it really energized us.
That's right. A plan. Very secret.
You see, they've created corporations. They've created birth certificates. They've registered your birth certificate to these corporations. A corporation is a dead entity. It's fake. It doesn't exist, just like the globe.
I know you can hear me.
They've made you believe you are living on a spinning ball on this world that doesn't exist, and they call it a globe.
So if someone asked you to get high, you just say,
Thanks for the opportunity.
We are so close to collectively waking up.
okay, what if they told you that in order to get high, you'd have to do a drug? Like, for example, smoke a substance called crack.
I'd be like, smoke that crack!
No, guys, no.
They are making money on you in a world that does not exist, because nature is natural and no one can own it.
Repeat the 3 words on the chalkboard. Just say
Now to crack!
But in the legal world, the fictional globe, they own you. That's why the globe is so important, because it doesn't exist.
Can we take recess early and seek out crack?
Sure, just follow a line later.
Poor lady.
Yeah.
Yes, what do you do with something like that? Imagine her turning up to a dinner party and you're sat next to her. There's no escape.
I have not met a person that's outright said the earth's flat like that.
No.
No.
They obviously exist. Arguably in their millions. But there's also 7% of Americans think that chocolate milk comes from brown cows. So, and 4% Americans are flat earthers. So 3 to 4% according to one survey. So more people think that chocolate milk comes from brown cows and the earth is flat.
Ooh,
so there's some solace in it.
Where does strawberry milk come from then?
Well,
what about banana milk?
Sunburnt cows, obviously, and jaundiced cows. So
Peppermint milk?
Peppermint. I don't know. Peppermint.
Got peppermint?
Let's get a little bit. Let's get a little bit strange there, Paul. Come on. Not
What kind of milk do black cows make?
Well, that'd be interesting. Maybe we don't get to drink black cow milk.
I haven't seen any of that, apparently.
Maybe coffee comes from black cows. Because obviously you've got to have some way of having milk with coffee without milk, so therefore it must come from black cows.
See, black cows make white milk because they've absorbed all the colour out of the milk.
Oh, there you go. So what happens with white?
Now that actually makes sense.
It does, yeah. So what about white cows? What about Murray Greys? I've got to say, I don't know if I want to drink grey milk. Maybe they bleach it. Make it more saleable. Black currant milk. I can't say I've ever seen black currant milk.
No.
We used to get Raiders lime milk in Canberra. Raiders is the local football team. And they wear green jerseys. So you used to be able to get green milk from because their sponsor was the local milk company. So you could get Raiders lime milk. I think I only ever had it once.
That's like the electricity, Timbo, that goes through my light globes. It absorbs all the blackness out of the room. Right? Unfortunately, that electricity then goes directly to my toaster.
All right. Yes. That's why your toast comes out. You have trouble cooking there, do you? That was one of the examples for Gin's outgassing was light globes, which, are in a new vacuum with metal in it. And
what? Light globes outgas?
No, it was against Gin, because Gin was saying that obviously things sitting in a vacuum obviously outgas and disintegrate, right? So cathode ray tube. So someone pointed, well, what about a cathode ray tube? There's a lot of those sat around for quite some time with it, disintegrating. I think the longest
Last night I tried to get Jen to tell me what he thought aluminum was made of. He didn't know.
But did you ask him if you grow it? There's aluminum trees out there. I mean,
well, he claims everything evaporates in a vacuum. I said, okay, what gas do we get when aluminum evaporates in a vacuum?
Aluminum gas.
He said, well, it's whatever aluminum is made of. I said, well, when okay. All right, I'm liking this now. What do you think aluminum is made of, Jen? And he quit. He left. Tapped out.
Gee.
That's almost as precious as on your latest video when Bev had to look up loon on the internet.
What was it, loom?
Loon, L-O-O-N.
Can you believe anybody is that stupid?
In the defense of whoever was saying that, at least he did said that's this spelling. Maybe he's spelling it a different way. Or do you think?
You think so?
I forget the name of the guy that actually said that. I don't know who he is. But later on, after he realized what a total idiot he had made of himself, he tried to claim he had was just making a joke. He wasn't making a joke.
No.
He was dead serious.
He's done that a few times, hasn't he? One of his tactics. Oh, I was just joking. I never said yes. That I'm a flat earther. I was just joking. Yeah.
Yes, that's his excuse for all of that stuff he posted on Twitter prior to about 4 years ago. Oh, it's just a joke. You take me out of context.
Yeah. Which he will do. Yeah, I'm going to find this one. Oh, sorry. It's good when little videos come up on my thing. I won't get one of these. What do you reckon, Blue? One of them?
Blimey, that's a tight fit.
It's a trap.
Well, you have some suspicions about its stability, do
you? Oh, yes.
Yeah, not what you'd call a huge wingspan, is it? Yes. Looks like one of those. You remember? Is it Mitsubishi? Those small cut, one single person vehicles that really it. Oh, not Mitsubishi. What were they? Messerschmitt. Messerschmitt. That's the one I'm thinking of. 185 miles per hour. I think that's it. That's 185. Yeah. Could be worse. Could be this
look exactly stable, does it?
One of these. This looks like an extra large radio controlled plane.
Shit. Blimey.
Little twin prop.
Yeah, the little jet they call the BD-5 is even smaller than that.
All right. Oh yeah. Well, this. Oh no, that's not jet.
No.
That's not big. Let's see that.
Reminds me of that little plane that James Bond flew that was in the back of a horse transporter.
This one looks cute though. I could. This one.
Yeah, that
so bad.
plane you're talking about is the BD-5.
This one.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Oh no, the James Bond one. Yeah, sorry, yes.
Yeah, the James Bond, because I remember that was just before that film was coming out. That was on one of the kids' programs. I think it was Blue Peter, and they said, "Oh, look at this! You know, that comes out, and the wings fold out, and tiny little thing."
How do they get
hid
this
behind
thing?
a fake horse's arse?
How do you get this thing to fly?
Wing and a prayer.
Yeah. Well, 2 wings and a prayer, but
Way.
Well, if you put enough horsepower on it, you can get a farm tractor to fly.
Well, not for very long. Ah, yes, I have seen this one. That's the. Not many of these flew.
Oh, it's the what do they call it? The Goblin.
Yeah, Goblin. That's it.
Going to carry it under a B-36, if I remember rightly.
Yeah.
The Germans were looking at this sort of thing towards the end of the war, building these dirty, great big planes with parasite fighters and landing strips on top of the fuselage and all sort.
I can see some logic to it. Yeah, there's it advantageous. It's always the trick.
I suppose if you've got a bomber with a long enough range, take your own escort fighter with it. But
well, they have to be a little bit more stable than that.
Oh, come on! They used to do this with dirigibles, didn't they? With the balloons.
Mm.
They had their own. They could carry aircraft.
Yeah, they usually had them strapped and just pull the lever. If you're up high enough, you can recover. This looks like a good way to trim the tops of your trees.
Yeah.
10 horsepower.
Looks like a good way to lose your mind, literally.
Well, lose a lot of things, I think. That's stable. Well, this looks like professionals only. That's 4 people in one of these.
Yeah, well, if they know each other really, really well. And if they don't, they're going to by the time the flight's over.
Yeah. Particularly when there's trouble in the air. Okay. This looks a bit like that. What was the NASA one? The flying haystack? Not haystack. What was it? The failed orbiter, the failed lander practicing device. What was it called? Can't remember. Don't know. What else we got? I remember the first time I saw one of these, I thought it was fiction, but then actually saw people using them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you turn yourself into the plane, don't you?
Yeah. It shows you what you can get away with those little, what's the engines? They do take a bit of punch now. Not very big. 30 miles. Yeah, I suppose 30 miles isn't too bad as a range or something like that. Here we go.
Yeah, you ain't got a lot of room for a big fuel tank, have you?
Nah. No. We don't. Well, I think we might draw it to a close. Don't have much more sensible to go through, so. But,
I got myself a little DJI FPV combo drone, Timbo.
Oh, okay, cool.
I haven't put it together yet and tested it yet, though. So looks pretty complicated. I've got to read about it first before I try. Can't do the usual band thing and just pull it out of the box and see how it goes.
See what happens.
I think I actually have to read up about it a bit first.
Yeah, make sure you push the right buttons and.
Yeah.
Has it got a lot of features like the go home button and all that sort of stuff? Or
yeah.
They're quite highly tech now. So
they are.
The one I've got I've got the old quadcopter, which you still have to manually do everything. And the only feature it's got is doing a backflip. Push the button in the middle of the air, it'll do a backflip, but the rest you've got a guide. Whereas I've seen the modern ones are so easy to fly now. You don't have to try and position yourself. You just sort of basically push it wherever you want to go, and that's what you get.
Yeah, it's supposed to have all the like obstacle avoidance and return to home and
Yeah.
You know, if its battery's getting low, it automatically comes back and all that sort of shit. So
yeah, well, I haven't played with it enough, but I've seen enough videos about them. The return to home is supposed to be quite clever to work out. Okay, if there's some, I come back and see something's in the way, and I'm meant to be going this way, it'll work out. You know, I'll go left and right until I find a way around, or go up. Or quite smart, and they're very stable. The imageries from them are really good. You don't get the old jerky sort of buzzing you used to get with the first ones. And nice clear. It's got a gimbal on it, the camera. We're not that far into it yet.
no, it's just got a camera that points forward and down.
Oh, okay.
So I can either look forward or look down.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. It's just doing
No,
it.
Clyde, they haven't fitted those buttons yet.
No. Oh, well, guys, I'll say goodnight to the Peanuts. You guys want to say goodnight before I push the red button?
Yeah. Good night, Peanuts.
No, Peanuts, we'll see. Oh, just while I'm on it, I might have one last show on next week, just before Christmas. And then I might have a break, but we might come back again close to New Year. We'll go from there. Okay. So, good night, Peanuts. See you next time.
Good night.